All right. We are going to give it a little bit of time. We're going to let everyone get in if anyone comes in. But let's just start this off by saying thank you. Thank you for coming in. My name is Charles. You can call me Chuck. This is Chuck for options. And today, what we're going to do is we are going to get together a trade thesis. Okay. So let's put this, oops. Yeah, let's put this over here. All right. Awesome. All right. So today is Sunday, and this is our trade thesis going into the week. So this is the first time that I'm doing this. We're doing this. So nothing's going to be perfect. So just take your time with me. But we are going to go over relevant information as a trader. Okay. Now you have many different ways of looking at the market, and there's many different ways to trade. All right. So I do a lot of the 1 minute trading, time signals, 5 minute, and I use the 1530s and everything so I can get a broader range. But today we want to really dig into earnings week because that's huge with NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is going to set the trend for what's going on. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share some notes. So I think this is good enough. I have some things written on my other page, and I'm just going to slot them in and out. And then anything added on, we're just going to add them on from there. All right. So there's many different ways you want to really look at the market. So this is my general way of looking at the market. Okay. And this is my scope. All right. So this is my scope, my trading method. Um, um, all right. Not trading advice. Okay. All right. So, oh, bro. Yo, what's up, retarded? Hey, I didn't even see you there, man. Thank you. This is just a trade thesis so I usually always do this, but I figured why not put it online so then people can maybe come and join me, or maybe they can understand what I'm thinking, or maybe they just want another perspective. So I think this is going to help a lot of people out for a lot of different reasons, but for the same thing. I do have a lot of things planned over this session that I do want to do. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm going to try and use up all my time efficiently, and make sure you use your time up efficiently too. All right, so there's going to be a couple of things we're going to want to do today, and this is one of them. Okay, so I just have just a little bit of notes, nothing crazy coming into this moment, because what I really wanted to do is do everything live. So just in case there's people wondering, hey, how did you get to that point? How did you get here? Why are you thinking this? Well, this is why, and you're not blocked behind like a Patreon, or, just, people just like to block just so much, and it's crazy. But anyway, so I do believe in a journal. Okay, this is my main journal here. I guess we can probably touch this later on, but you're going to see me flipping between a lot of different things, and these are a lot of the tools that I use throughout the day. All right, I never knew that my trading was going to evolve into like typing and writing stuff out, like what's going on. You made me motivated to start streaming and content creation, bro. Thank you. You're welcome, man. Congratulations. I hope you do well. I hope you, definitely stay focused. Don't think about the end result. Think about the product. If you make that your, end result, then everything else to follow. All right. So let's come here to NVIDIA because we want to look for where are we in the structure. So, NVIDIA, all right. So there's different ways of looking at the market too. All right. Uh, let's, there's many different ways of looking at the market. We want this too. And this is one of them right here. Okay. So, and there's a lot of different metrics you should have, you know, because not you just can't do it just one way, one thing, in my opinion. So you're gonna have trader sentiment, market sentiment, and verse Wall Street. Okay, this is like the end result of like everything right here. The Wall Street. All right, that's like really important. Okay, because they're the ones with the real money. Our little retail money is nothing. Okay, we are not moving markets. We are not turning markets. We are not, that's what crypto is for. All right, that's when guys like us can make a crypto coin, promote it, push it around, people buy into it, goes up like crazy. We sell out, and pull the rug. Okay, you can't do that with Nvidia, Apple, and all those things. You can't do that for a reason. Okay. So when you're trading, um, you ever think, oh man, like this is definitely going to go up because of this. And then like it does something different. Well, we when we trade, okay, I'm gonna put this up here, okay, as a trader. All right, because this is big. As a trader, I'm no bear or bull. Okay. All right. So, but we do lean. Okay. We do lean. Okay. Now that's also going to involve your risk as well. Okay. So with Nvidia, we have the trader sentiment is what do traders think the market is going to do, okay? And then you have the market sentiment. That's the market is the actual movement of what's going on in the charts, and that's one thing we're going to take a look at in a minute so we can get our levels. And then you're going to have Wall Street. All right. For Nvidia's earnings, okay, and how critical of a point we are in the stock market. Nvidia has to like hit. Nvidia has to do well. Nvidia has to hit on almost every metric. We have had so many companies do well, double beat, triple beat, down 10%, down 15%, down 25%. Dude, it's crazy. And these companies are beating earnings, okay? So, you know, that's Wall Street, okay? That's the difference between what Wall Street's doing and what the market is doing, the market sentiment. Us as traders, we're just getting caught up in the middle, okay? Okay, there we go. We're getting caught up in the middle, okay? So let's see where we are, all right, on NVIDIA, Okay, let's get straight to it. So we are looking for the high, 52-week high. Okay. All right. When did we see this puppy? We seen this puppy back 10/25. All right. So we seen this bad boy back in October. Then after that, we did see the SPY and everything else did sell off precipitously after that until we hit this big low right there. Wow. All right, so we have our high here. So let's just tag in. Let's let's tag this high. I'm sorry. Let's tag this high. All right, so this is how, because what I'm showing you now is how to grab a range, and then later on, shortly, just let me cook, let me work my magic. Everything is going to come together. Just give me a little bit of time, okay? Just give me a little bit of time. All right, I got to get my talkies out. I got to get my giggles out. Let me get all that stuff out. All right, and then I'm going to show you some cool stuff. Some really cool stuff. This was different. That was just a wick. That's not the body. I'm looking for body. 171. 171. That's a double tap. That's a breach. That's too far back. We went after this. So I'm looking for the range. Okay, so this is the first top pop. Now we want to look for first that first time we went the lowest. I don't like this because of the wick. I want the body. This is the lowest share sold. That's true. There was a share that was sold for that low, but we don't want that. We want something a little bit more substantial. Okay, I like this body right here, 170. So we're going to call this 170 low our low. All right, this is our range. Okay, this is our range. All right. So don't worry. I am not changing this video. I'm not speeding it up. I'm not going to redo it. This is live. This is how you're going to get it. If you want the information, then you're going to sit your behind down and you're going to listen. All right. You're not going to get it in the fast microwave way. This is organic, and this is how you do it every day. This is just a bigger scale. And if you sit down and watch it and pay attention, I can show you how to make a lot of money. And if you look in my past videos, you're going to see thousands of dollars made right in your face using this method, what I'm doing right now. So, just, chill the fuck out. I'll get there. Okay. So, we have our level right here, 170. We do have another tap right here at 171 as well. The 170, 171 range. That double tap. The reason why we want to find these levels is because now we want to come over here. And now what I want to do is we want to look at some contracts. Okay. So now, all right. So one thing that I do is I'm an option contract seller. All right. So I buy, sell, calls, and puts. All right. There's a lot you can do within those 4 options. You can mix them. You can add them. There's a lot of different things you can do. Okay. Me, I'm all cash. I don't trade on margin. All right. I'm all cash. I'm not a margin trader. I don't borrow. Okay. And I don't do none of that prop firm stuff. That prop firm stuff is it's a scam. You are the liquidity. They're taking your money. But anyway, moving on. So this week here, all right, this is our expiration. Expiration matters. All right. Expiration matters. So now this is going to be whether you're buying calls or puts, because we're not a bear and we're not a bull. All right. We're here to make money. Okay. We're not here to be part of a cult. Okay. We're here to make money. Okay. Cults take your money. Okay, remember, cults. There is no cult in the world that do not want your money. All right, they want you to buy stuff. They want you to give it to them. They want your money. I don't want your money. All right. So this stuff is important. So we want to look for our range right here. I'm on the wrong side. I'm sorry. So I want to look for the low end. Okay, I just want to price out some of these contracts. This 190. This is for 90 cents right here. So this is what I do like every day. I want to price these out. I don't know how I'm going to do this. So just do expiration. So 227 put what's a good way to put this exponentially? I guess we can just put it like this. $90. I guess technically 90 cents. Okay. So this is the 270 170 put. So these numbers are going to change, okay? Because options are derivatives. So they're going off of a price. And NVIDIA's price right now, we may see it at this price right here, okay? But you see, even then, after hours, 190, so it went up a couple cents, so the that's not going to change the option contract too much, but they're going to skew, okay? So what I'm looking for is I really just want to understand how much these contracts are going to cost over time. So let's add some context to this. This is the high. This is the 52-week high. 52-week high. And let's do this. I think that's good. Now, this isn't the 52-week low. This is just the lowest point in this structure. Okay. I'm sorry, guys, for being boring, but this boring stuff makes like a lot of money, and it'll make you a lot of money. And it's been making me a lot of money, man. Like, I know it's boring. I know you gotta go through it, man, but you just gotta go through it, man. All right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to put you through this. I'm sorry, guys, but if you guys would just give me a second, watch the videos, come lock into um come lock into the live streams, and you're going to see some really cool things, okay? So lowest point in the structure, $170, okay? And we've seen this fairly recent. That wasn't even then. That was back then. But I wanted to do the first one, okay? I said the first one is because what we're going to do is we're going to grab a range, okay? We're going to be able to see the range, and we're going to see some levels, okay? We're going to get into the fibs also. All right, so there's a lot of different things that I want to look at, okay? Because this double top, I mean this double bottom, double bottoms could be, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. All right. All right. Okay. Levels Friday. Oh my God, we didn't even talk about SPY yet. All right, this is just NVIDIA, and we just want to understand some price points. So the 170 put, okay? So let's come down here. Let's take a look at some more contracts. All right, so this is a put. This is a buy. We want to buy a put. This is for the 170 put right here. 167. We want to come out a little bit more. This is the high point. Now we want to understand. Now we want to look to the left of that point. Okay? Because we are looking for information for the future. Okay? And to grab that information for the future, okay, I believe we need a range. I'm grabbing the top end of the range, grab the bottom of the range. All right? Now I'm looking to understand where we coming from, okay? Because there's a point that we can drop down to, okay? Another lower point underneath that 170, okay? So you can think 170 is the best entry when it isn't. You know, it isn't, you know, it's not the best entry. So that's what I want to go for now. All right, we see we have something here. We have this 170, yeah, roughly around 170, 171. They broke it here, and these are gap ups. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? What were you before Liberation Day? 106, 153. And then from 153, you hit 86. You dropped 50% off of Liberation Day? Off of this point? Dude, if NVIDIA don't we're going to get there when we get there. I'm just looking, man. I am just looking. Okay, so this is 153. That's not even a good 153. Look, what happened there? I wonder, should I go in? I should probably look in there, shouldn't I? Shoot, I really don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there, but the only thing I do see is that, you know, there was a lot of weakness behind it. It didn't hold, and then you see some lower highs, and then you see it just break down in the total structure right there, going to Liberation Day. All right, lowest share sold that day, 86 bucks 60 cents. Incredible. Incredible. Almost doubles days after, weeks after, 2 weeks after. Incredible. All right, so I don't even know that this looks junky. This looks junky here. 149, 153, 167. Sheesh. 167 to 150. I'll give it to 155. I'll give it to 155. That's crazy. That's crazy. Did we really see one? Was that 167? We're gonna have to give it to 167. Huh. All right, 167. Da, 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 da. And that range is to 155. All right, so these are moderate lows right here. Very moderate. All right, so 170. So this is how, this is where we are in this stack. Right now we are going towards the higher end. We are in the higher end of the range. So when it comes to the range, higher end of range, just so you can understand where we are, we can understand where we are. Levels, 52-week high. This is 12 lowest point in the structure. It was in the structure 170 in the structure. Okay. where we did hit these lower points right there, and this is the low point range, okay? So we can go low point range. I don't like that. LPR? I have to put freaking definitions for these acronyms. Crap. That would probably be a little bit more fast. Okay, I think we're gonna do that. All right, we can do that later. All right, 170. Strike. This is for the contracts, so people don't get lost. Contracts. Uh, uh, I'm about to say what? What did I spell wrong? What? Huh? What? What? Um, you know what? That's good enough because we see our range. No, technically no, because if we see this lowest point structure right here in the range, why wouldn't we not price out these two contracts right here, the 155s? So let's take a look at the 155s, and this is for this week. 5 cents, 2 cents. 5 cents, 2 cents. These are the gammas right here. The Greeks. I'm sorry, the Greeks. Delta, gamma, theta, vega, rho. What didn't I name the other day? I think the other day I named 4. I think I forgot gamma. No, I could have forgotten gamma. I could have forgotten gamma because gamma is a metric that I really don't like necessarily I like interact with or like mess with too much. Um, so we can see. So the 150 these are 5 cents. All right, the 155s are 5 cents. But look at these 160 165s. We're going to mark these. We're going to mark these. Actually, no, I want to do something better. You know what? Yeah, we're going to mark these. The 65 for 53. The 65 for 53. $165. Boom. 453. Same expiration. And we're going to come down here too. And it's going to pretty much be the same structure that we put in the other contracts as well. And I 55. It wasn't 5 cents, 22 cents. 22 cents. But I got to show you how to 22 cents. Okay, and that's all fine and dandy, okay? Now this is for a Wednesday contract and that expiration. But we want to give ourselves some time. But they're not going to move like that. We can go to the 2s. We're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to get some metrics and we're going to go from there because you have to also learn how to trade them. You don't know how to trade these things. These things are crazy. You're just putting money out there all crazy. Was that a second expiration right there? 2. 170 put. What was that price? 119? 170, 112. 112. Then we can put the 165 here as well. for March. You got to remember the expiration dates. Expiration dates matter. The 165 is 71 cents. You know what? Just all right. 165 is 71 cents. Boom, boom. 71. One. All right, and now the 155 is respectfully 33 cents. 155. Think about it like this. You watch me one time, you pick it up, you get better, you don't have to watch it again. You know, but you got to learn it. So, what are you going to do? Okay. Boom. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. Bam. All right. So we're pretty much done NVIDIA. All right. We're finished NVIDIA. All right. So now the actual trading plan. Okay. All right. So what am I going to do? Woo! All right. I'm thinking maybe I should also go over SPY first before I get to this point. But I don't want to seem as though I'm chokeholding you for information. Because the things that's going to happen between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all right, it's not going to really matter too much for the stock, except for better entries. Okay, so Monday, no, I wouldn't look for a position. Well, no, technically, because they could run it. They could run it. All right, look at where we are now. When was this? All right, this is 205. This was 205. This was then. Okay. How many weeks back? One, two, roughly 2.5 weeks back. So 2.5 weeks back, we were in this 170 range. We were here. Okay, so you might want to know, well, okay, what are the respective calls looking like on the other side? Those calls are looking fucking nice. Well, it depends on when you bought them. So here's the money line right here. This the money line, the ATM. You know, it depends on where you bought those calls. Those calls could be look pretty fucking, from 2.5 weeks ago. So you got to think from the structure where we are now. This is where we are now at this 189, 190 target. From this area to here, that was 2 weeks. So when you write your contracts out, you got to give yourself some time. You got to give yourself a lot of time because within the time of those contracts, man, a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen. This is the weekly. That's the weekly right there. So we want to make sure we give ourselves enough time. But it's looking like currently they're going to run it. You see, but this is the top in the structure. This is the top. Look, back to 105 to January, rejection. End of January, rejection. When was this? 2/12, my birthday, rejection. Look, right here. Reject. Oh, what's the double bottom? What was that signal? What the fuck was that? I called that double bottom. What's this? What the fuck? Yeah, I know that's a double bottom. I said that, but how is this doing that? I, well, how do I know that without this doing that? But what the? That's crazy right there. So, um, we're hitting a wall right there. Okay, so that's our wall. This was a gap up. These weren't down. Those were gap downs. This was ugly. This was 11:20. I remember that day. All right, so we are at a. So this is very bearish. Okay, and somehow there's a metric up here even saying it that there's a double bottom. Double bottom is very bearish. So now when you trade, okay, we are trading right here, right now. You know, we're not really trading for anything too far out unless those contracts that you're buying are going to necessarily be for that. Okay, and like where we are in the structure. But so far, as we can see here, you know, we could have a little bit more squeeze to the upside, or it keeps rejecting at this 192 area and keeps rejecting down. You know, so it looks like there's more down low than above, but this, if we beat this 212, this is nothing but blue skies above. I mean, this is nothing but blue skies above, and my God, if the market likes what NVIDIA is doing on Wednesday, the market is going to eat, okay? Now, they have to hit everything on the T. If they don't, this fucking thing is going to tank. And NVIDIA is one of the heaviest weighted items in the S&P. So when the S&P, I mean, so if this thing drops a lot, it's going to follow. The S&P is going to follow, and the market is going to go exactly where this thing goes. It goes down to the depths. We're going right down with it. All right, so we want to be ready for that. My theory is, they may approach the the wall going into Wednesday. Okay. Now remember, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday is earnings after hours. All right. For the past, now this is another big part that's going to start tying the bow together and putting everything into perspective for anyone, everyone that's watching right now. Okay. So right now, you see, we're hitting a high right here. We keep hitting these 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 highs, and then we getting rejected. Boom, big bang, 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 big rejection, big rejection. You know, and we're good coming out. And this is the daily. When is this? This is 610, 2025. So this is the highest of the high in the stat count. All right. So let me put a bow in the NVIDIA. Okay. NVIDIA. Now, because I had to go through SPY in order to get there. But now that you kind of understand the idea that I have, Monday, ATP, Tuesday, ATP, um, Wednesday, we buy. Okay. What do I recommend? Sheesh. I don't recommend shit. Monday ATP, Tuesday ATP, Wednesday we buy for the next move out. Man, we don't know where that's going to go. We don't know what they're going to do Monday and Tuesday, lead into Wednesday. Uh, I mean, today is Sunday. You know, it's been very bearish in the market. The sentiment has been very bearish. There's been a lot of things going on, so we want to move cautiously. Um, there's I mean everyone's calling for that bottom. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be positioned kind of in both ways. Me personally, because none of this matters. Like it just honestly really doesn't matter. It depends on what contracts you buy and all that stuff. Like it, you know, I just want to understand where we are, and as we go through time, I want to understand my trade thesis so I can move with it and I can act accordingly. You know, when you have a plan, having a plan matters because at least you can see where your plan is failing or winning. But when you don't have a plan and you're just winging it, you don't have any metrics. I like to have metrics. I like to have things I can go back, I can look at, I can measure them, I can put notes on them. I can say I was wrong here, I was wrong there, I was right there. I mean, and it's okay. It's okay to be wrong. That's why I don't mind putting my things out on YouTube or the internet, uh because like it's okay to be wrong. Like it's okay to be wrong. Like the money and everything that I'm making, like if you're here you see the money that I'm making, like the fuck, like I'm wrong. It's the degree of being wrong, and what are you doing to turn that around? Are you are you saying that you're wrong at minus 80%, or are you saying that you're wrong at minus 15 to 20%? Like there's a difference. So it's good to have a plan, and I want to have a plan. So uh so if NVIDIA moves up, okay. So right here, NVIDIA moves up into ER. I will buy puts at the top of the stack. Now that's going to be a very short term trade. Oh my gosh, you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say at the end of all this right here. Okay, so this is pretty much this. Um, okay, but I don't really trade Nvidia too much. I do sometimes, but I would do a spread, 2 to 1 on your side, whatever side it is, you know. Boom, just that easy. Okay, so just so we can understand, what we're getting ourselves into. All right, and I guess I should probably do a whole nother thing for SPY instead of having these two together. All right, and this is just going to be just something else. Uh, Paste, and then you know what? We're going to keep that there. And then if anyone want to see those notes, I guess I can probably post the notes somewhere so then people can grab them, people can watch them. All right. Let me come over here. So there's a couple things that we want to do for SPY. All right, like I said, I had some notes already. Kind of like, I didn't want to come in here ass naked. I wanted to have some type of plan, like I try and say all the time. Let's have a plan. All right, so this is the top of the stack right here for SPY that we are going to look at right now. All right, and then I guess I can probably, well, I guess you're going to see me explain the range bound trading and how this market is just primed for this type of trading. Like this is the best way to trade in this market. It's absolutely crazy. Like absolutely crazy. All right, but there's a lot of things I want to talk about with the SPY. All right, so there's been some really cool things. Friday, did you see? Okay, I had to get to this. I had to get to this. Did you see this freaking SPY? This freaking Fed injection. Did you guys see that green candle? I wonder how much was that green candle? How much money was that? That big green candle on Friday. I think it was around like one. No, it wasn't one. It started here. Yeah, 137. It was when Trump was talking 132. That could have been it because then it started breaking. 132. It was at 1:32 p.m. pump. That was a nasty candle. I think that was the candle. Yeah, it was when Trump was talking. It could have been this. It was when Trump was talking. All right. So what we want to do, we want to find our ranges right here. Okay. What was this? This is 477. This was 4825. 4825. I mean, 477. What's that math? Let's get this calculator. That's 213 points. The SPY has gone up 213 points over the last less than a year, 10 months. That's fucking crazy. That's insane. Insane. Oh my God. All right. So this is saying a lot right here. Okay. And we also want to talk about Trump and everything later on because everything matters. You know, you're just not trading the charts. You are trading against a mindset and countries. You know, it's just not Trump. All right, so we definitely want to get that. That was just the low, okay? Off of here on a stack, 606. Okay, that makes it a little bit better. Holy shit! It fell from 606. Fuck. Shit. 690, 606. What the fuck am I talking about? Um, 84, 94. Fuck. Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. Okay. I wonder what is that? 84 on the fib. I guess this be kind of right. 609. So let's do 690 minus 609. 690. Okay, 81. Okay, I was about right. All right, 50% of that would be 40 points. 35% of that, I guess we just put it in the third. Um, maybe around 30s. Sheesh. 11, 19, 25. All right, I think that's probably one of the best points. What is this? 698. I mean, there is a lot right here. Okay, so moving on. Trump. This administration isn't going to let this thing crash. It's just not. I personally think they're going to kick everything down the road until he's out, and then when Trump is out and like way out the way, I think that's when we will get a correction. It is starting to snow/sleet right now, so The blizzard has hit Philly. Yeah, so I don't think they're gonna let it crash or correct. Now we will have pullbacks. Okay, I do believe we will have pullbacks. Look at this pullback. That was a huge pullback right there from the top of this stack. But then we moved up a little bit higher. Not that much higher, but still a little bit higher. I remember that day. I remember that day. That was crazy. They caught me out there. I was caught that day. They caught me out there all crazy that day. But since then we tightened up. So I'm just looking for a good safe low end, okay? Because as a day trader, this is what we're looking at every single day. All right. All right. So let's move this puppy. All right. So our expiration days are a little bit different. 24, 25, 26, 27. 4, 5, 6, 7. So when we play earnings, the theta on these contracts are just like absolutely magnificently fast. So these things are moving. They're ziplining. So and my recommendation is the further out in the contracts, you're gonna have a lower beta but a higher theta. All right, and through that, you are um you have like a little bit less returns. So like the money is going to be, a little bit different. Um so you really want to know and understand what contracts you are buying and where are you buying them in relative uh distance to where the actual contract's going, you know. So for these to move into the purpose, so when you go to pick up a contract, and I like to think everything as a deviation whenever you picking your different strikes, because that's just a measured deviated move out of the projected um like forecast of the move. And that's when you're going to get into delta. Okay, that's when your delta is going to kick in. um Delta is going to give you your percent chance into the movement. And there's one other metric too. I gotta break open. I have to get in there. Um, for delta, but delta is very important when it comes to these guys. So on Monday, leading into Monday and Tuesday, for the spy, I feel as though the spy is going to. Well, we're not a bear or bull. We just wait. We definitely just want to wait. And Simon's. Oh, the ranges. Okay. So when we are in the market, okay. So you want to know, hey Chuck, how do you find the ranges? And you want to know why I was doing what I was doing before. Okay. So this is pretty much what the market is doing right now. The market is staying within the range. All right, look at that. Stand within the range on the top end of the range. Okay, that can be all the capex talk. So when I'm trading, and when you're trading, you should be able to scale in and out. You should be able to make big things small and make small things big. Okay, this is the 1 minute chart. This is what I trade every day. Okay, every day from 9:30 to 4. I'm looking at each one of these lines. Okay, each one is 1 minute. Okay, and I look at each. I watch every candle. every candle. And within every candle, okay, I need people to understand. If you gotten this far in the video, thank you. You're about to reward yourself for what you're about to listen to right now. Okay, so stop what you're doing. I'm gonna let you sit up, pause the game, pause whatever you're doing and everything, so you can, because this is the money right here. You ready? This is the money. Okay. So throughout the day, there's a lot of people worldwide, okay, for years. What they've done, they gave their money to a banker. They said, hey, banker, how much money can I get at the end of the year for this $100? They said, sir, ma'am, I would gladly take your $100. At the end of the year, I'm going to give you $105, ma'am, sir. Thank you for your business. We love you. Thank you so much. We're going to send you some cards and some flowers. Thank you for banking with us, okay? They took your money for that whole year. Now, honestly, they don't even give you, 5%. We're talking 0.0. I was really exaggerating when I said that much money. They don't give you that much money in banks, for putting it in there and everything. But what they do is throughout the year, okay? This is the 1 minute chart, okay? I made a video a couple years ago about how to trade like a banker. Well, this is what they do, okay? Do you see all these lines? Look at this. Look at this. Do you see all the up and down? You see all that green? Look at the weeks. Okay, this is scaling. This is called scaling. Look at the days. You see now things are we're starting to see a little bit more. There's a lot of red, there's a lot of green. Look at the hours. Now things are really zooming. We're zooming out and we're zooming in, right? Isn't that cool the way that happens? Okay, now this is a 4-hour chart. Look at all the up and downs. Dude, 1 hour. Bro, do you know how much money is being made within these hours and minutes and seconds? So that's why I like to tap into. Dude, this is thousands of dollars right here. This is thousands of dollars right there. Like, and I know how to tap into the moves. I know how to find the contracts, okay, that is being moved all the time. So when people go and take their money to the bank and they give them dude, they are doing magnificent things with your money. Okay, when you give them your $20,000, they say, "Hey, sir, ma'am, we're going to give you a better rate, a preferred rate." Man, that's just more money for them to just keep just making incredible money on your money. It's crazy, crazy. I didn't want to say the other word. Okay, all right. So now getting to the money. All right, getting to the money. This is the box right here. All right, the box. This is the money maker right here. This is how you make your bread. Remember earlier, I was trying to find the levels. Well, you got to find the levels off of a point, off of a starting point. Every day, you're going to see something in the SPY, okay? Now, we're looking on the 1 minute charts, okay? You're going to see the spike. Bam! It's going to be an up or down spike, okay? That's going to be the point. The point of like the first point of the puzzle, okay? Now we got to look for that low. All right? Because throughout the day, now remember, we didn't see all this stuff. This is why you got to watch. You got to know what you're doing, you got to know what you're looking for, okay? Just coming to I stream every single day. Look at my journal, yo. Look at my time journal. Every single day from 9:15 to like 4. Sometimes we make our bread early and we out like 12 or something. Sometimes, we all day. But lately I've been waiting all day because I want to get a better idea of what's going on the bigger scale. It's so cool. So when we're in a range bound market, when you think, yo, man, what the hell? The SPY is just doing it. Dude, we're making money. We're making like real life money because I'm gonna show you how to use the box, okay? because that's important too. When you build it, when you first make it, that's going to give you your ranges. That's going to give you the range of that the market is moving until it makes its second move. So here go the first move. The first move, boom. Okay, look at the time frame. I can't even see the freaking time frame right here. All right, but this is like 9:35, 9:31. Okay, then you get closer out here. Now we're talking like 10 o'clock or something like that, you know? But after the moves are made, the first move, bang, that's the first stop. And then you want to get your second low. All right. There's reasons why. Now I probably moved this out back and forth before I finally got this one, but I was safe here maybe because of here. Okay. So I most likely didn't draw this full line yet because I wanted to. We only thing we knew was this was the top of the stack. Okay. Now we got to figure out the rest. All right. By the time I got here, I made money here. I made money going down here because we knew once we came down and we hit the top of that stack, I knew at least I knew this was the top. I didn't know the bottom yet. Okay. Because you would think here's a bottom, here's a bottom, here's some more right here, here's some more. You know, we don't know where the bottom's at, but I do know throughout all of this going on, I was very safe to buy puts up here. Okay. We tapped out here, tapped out here. By the time we get here, we got a triple top. Okay. That's very bearish. All right. We fall, bang, made money right here. Okay. So now I already drew this line. This line was drawn after I sold my contracts here. Now we got a double bottom right here. Now we got an equal low. The equal low, I'm okay with connecting that equal low. Now we found our range. Now we found our box. Okay. You remember Iron Man, the first one? When oh man, War Machine? When War Machine said, I don't want to be down there. Don't go down there. That's the death box. Well, that's the death box. When you trade inside of this death box, you're going to get killed, okay? But remember, I was okay with writing a put at the top of the stack because I knew this was the top of the stack and it failed before, okay? And we didn't get a true bottom yet. We didn't get we didn't get no equal low bottom yet. So I was okay with that. We found our range. All right. I didn't play this because I was drawing out my box. Okay, I was getting my box together. I think this was like even yesterday on Friday. Go or the other day. Go check it out. This was live. Okay. Now we bought puts. We bought puts here. Now, do you really feel safe buying a put or a call anywhere in the middle of this stack? Look at this stack. Look at this. There's a lot of money. The contracts, okay? So now when you go to the contract side, it's important because at the time that these contracts are being played, when the contract is going up, I'm sorry. Let me go back. When let's say your call contract is going up. Okay? Think of it like a weight and a weighing machine. All right? Like the court style things. If you put more weight on one side, that weight with the more side is going to go down and the lighter side is going to go up. Okay? Because it's being overcome by more weight. Well, it's the same thing in the options contracts. When your call or your put is going up, okay, when you're actually looking at the contract, I can't open up a contract. Shoot. When you're actually looking at the contract is going to go up, okay, whether it's a call or put, okay, and the derivative is doing, the underlying is doing whatever, okay. So when your call is, let's say, going up, the puts on the underline, they're going down in value. All right. Now, not in equal value, but the right contract with the call and put, they can coincide, they can be equally weighted, but puts are usually more expensive than calls. Okay. I forgot why. I can think of a why. If you know why, please put it in the comments. Educate me, okay? Because I really forgot. All right. Uh, so when, but let's say if you buy a put and the underline is going down, so what's happening to your put? Your put is going up, all right? So while your put is going up, your call contract, or not your call contract, the call contracts, but if you had a spread, you would see the call contract going down, getting cheaper, okay? So now follow me. I'm sorry to talk to you like you're remedial and you're a kid, but it's just really, really important because some people get it and some people don't. So I have to make sure when I speak, I have the right inflection and I'm saying the right things so people can understand it correctly, okay? Because my lips and my tongue, sometimes they like to do their own thing. You know, I have nice, big, juicy lips and I have a nice, strong, meaty tongue, okay? And sometimes when I go fast, I don't have that skill to really, control all of that so much. So that's why sometimes you may hear some of my words like roll or do something weird. Okay. So, okay, moving on. So let's say I buy a call. All right. I buy a call right here. Okay. The call that I buy here in relativeness to this range rotation that we're in. Okay, the call contract is coming down. All right, they're getting cheaper. So now this is when you want to start buying your call contracts if you feel this is a part of the range and we're going to go back up. Now remember, you don't see all of this. Okay? When you trade, you have your charts, your balls. That's all you got. Okay. So what you say and what you do, well, you got to put your money out there. And I do that, and it works out for me very well. So, um, I buy my calls down here at the bottom of this stack when it's nice and cheap. Okay. Now, if you have any puts and if you bought the puts at the top, right? You sell them down here, you made some good money right there. You made really good money. Now the calls got really cheap. Now they're like 5 cents, 6 cents. But when they go back up here, they're going to go back up to 20 cents. 30 cents, okay? And this is effectively how you find 200 to 300 to 500 percenters all day, every single motherfucking day. This is how you do it. You come to Chuck for options and you get paid. That's how you do it. I can end the video right now. But if I end the video right now, I'm doing you a disservice. And if I be like, yo, like and subscribe, come to the next video to get the more information. No. My mom told me uh some time ago. She said, you know, she said Bruce Lee has had a lot of teachers, I mean a lot of students over the years. Bruce Lee, he taught a lot of people in a lot of different places and spaces. And people always kept coming to Bruce Lee. And when he died, there was never a Bruce Lee again. So I'm okay with sharing the information that I have and that I have created, I have invented, like the journal, my methods, my trade strategy, because there can only be one Charles McCray. There can only be one Chuck for options. And if you are a friendly, well, you would want to be a student. You're going to stay, you're going to ask questions, you're going to add, you're going to say, yo, Chuck, what's up? This is what I'm looking at. What do you think it is? Yo, yo, yo. But if you the enemy and you don't fuck with me, you're gonna think you know some, You're gonna grab some, you're gonna make some bread off of it because it's good information. And I teach extremely well, and I know how to explain concepts in depth in many different ways, and I can reach a lot of different people with my different teaching styles. And I've taught a lot of different subjects and to a lot of different people. I mean, it's just ingrained in what I do. But not everyone can do that. So, that juice was good. Ah, all right. So I don't mind. So it's crazy, dude. Every day, 500%, 200%, and 300%. Not one time, not two times, not three times. I There's opportunities in this market every single day. The way you can make money is just crazy. But you gotta be a student. You gotta be a student of the game. If you're not a student of the game, then you just a lame, and you're not making no money. I'm not a content creator, y'all. All right, I'm not here to make y'all like laugh and shit. I'm here to make money. I'm making money whether or not you here or not. I make these videos and I want to get well known so I can get other black people into the financial space, get them into the option space, get them into the stock market, and just show yo, like it's crazy out here. Like these bankers are crazy, you know. Uh, and that's why I'm on here. I'm doing some things outside of the internet, going to the people and everything and talking to the people, and also teaching. So I am getting into a classroom, an actual classroom, teaching derivatives. So I the internet is just another platform for me to use so I can show these different concepts and everything to people to let people know, yo, it's crazy. This is another day right here. This happened. Look, you find the range and you make the money. Like, dude, it's insane, insane. You know. Now you bought a put right here, so this is also the other point of the getting your levels, because once you get your levels, look at this. It broke through the level. Look at that money made. Look at that. Look at that money made. You get down here, you think we're going back up? Well, you have a point. Look at this. Dude, it's no one else is going to show you this for free. They're gonna now people are gonna probably steal this and try and put it in their Patreon and shit. But they try. That's the thing. People try and keep you in their pay me. I got the best idea. I got the look, man. I think everybody should put this shit out there. Everybody see what it is, and but I guarantee nobody on the internet is doing this right here. Nobody is doing this for free. Nobody is doing this for free. Nobody. And this is money. This is real money. This is real money right here. Even if you don't got thousands of dollars, all right, a $6 contract is going to turn into a $30 contract. That's 5 times your money right there. That's on Monday. So now on Tuesday, you got $36. All right. So now you find those, you do the same thing. divide it by 6. I'm sorry. Yeah, divide it by 6. That's 6. So now you got 6 contracts. You bust that move again. All right. We got 6 contracts. They go up to 36. Now we got $216 going into Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, divide by 6. Now we can buy 36 of those contracts. All right. We get the contracts. We go back up. All right. We go up to we have 36 of the contracts times $46. Now they go up to $36. 36 times 36, $12.98. 12.96. Bro. Every day. Now that's only one move. That's only one move. You get almost 10 of these moves a day. You just have to know what contract to buy, when to buy it. Now, that's the hard part. That's the hard part. I hope a certain set of people left already thinking they know everything, and they're not going to hear this part. So, good job. Good job. I hope they're gone. I hope they left, okay? Because this is the crazy part, okay? Because when you buy these contracts, right? When you buy these contracts, all right, they're not going to be down here, really. Oh, I can't even. Can I? Oh, I can watch. Listen, let's go. Ah! Can I get into them? Okay. 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 We can use this. Okay. So, all right. So, this is the part that's going to make you a lot of fucking money, okay? When the contracts are getting rinsed, okay, throughout the day. When the contracts are getting rinsed throughout the day, if you come to the live stream, I can explain to you when. I can explain you what contract I'm looking at, what contract I'm doing. I can explain all that stuff, okay? Because there's times when the contract has money on it and movements happen. And when the movements happen and the calls go up, your puts do what? Go down. You can buy these things for pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. I was being very nice about the whole $6 contract thing, because you can get them for cheaper and they will go absolutely crazier. Now you can get the more expensive ones. The more expensive ones are you're going to eat. I mean, it's crazy. You pick up like a $20 contract, a $30 contract, and those things start moving. Woo! 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 Woofy! Woofy! Woo! But there's times when I bought a contract for $1 and they go up to $80. Okay? You heard me right. Let me bring out the calculator. There's times when I buy a contract for $1 and I'm able to sell it for $200. Okay? I need you guys to understand. You have to come to my channel every single day. Yo, I'm live, baby. Look, it's 3:19 p.m. EST, New York, EST. I'm in Philly. I live in Philly. It's 2/22/2026. I'm a real boy. All right, I'm a real boy. I'm a real person. I'm not no Wall Street. You don't know who I am. You don't know where I'm at. This is my real money. Okay? These are my ideas. This is my journal. Okay? I created this journal months and months and months and months and months ago, bro. Months ago, bro. Oh no, don't cancel. Months ago. This is 11/26. This is my job. I'm trying to tell you the stuff that you can learn in options trading is absolutely phenomenal. It will change your life. The money that is made, the money that I make every day is just crazy. It's just really crazy. Like it's just crazy. Like when you're making like $1,100 a day, you know, $500 like on a bad day, there's 5 days a week trading, like that's a lot of money, And I take money out. I, buy shit, do shit. I'm kind of focused right now, and I'm also trying to segue into doing like other things. And I do want to build up my YouTube channel because I am a better trader than a lot of people out there. The only thing is my only downfall is I'm black. That's it. For them, not for me. I love being black, but that's why my channel isn't growing or popular and everything. But I don't care. I'm still making money. I'm still showing the other other right people to make money, and black people watch my channel. So that's all I care about. I don't care. And I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. So I'm just trying to build up my channel and shit. Get my channel right, man. You guys, you'll be so surprised at how much money is being made all day, every day. And it's quite easy. Um, it's actually really easy. So I welcome everybody. I think I'm gonna probably close it out around no, just a little bit more. I wanted to wait. I think I have someone writing. Chance Ford. Huh. What's up, Chance? Yo, futures opens in 2 hours. Yeah. Nah, that's not it. G. Haha. Just keep grinding. Yeah, I keep it grinding. Um, big structure change. Oh, did you guys see on Friday that big Fed injection? I think it was a Fed injection. I think it was here. This was sick. This candle was a beast. I made a little bit over a G on this candle. This candle was nasty. You hit big other day, huh? Yeah, yeah. I hit big on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on Friday. And then the prior week, I hit big on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But you want to hear the week before? The week before was crazy too. I got it all on stream too, and that's the thing. I can I can brag because I do it all day, every day on stream. I try and get other people in here with me. Like Chance, I invite you to come trade with me, bro. I promise I don't bite. I love to hang out with people. Like it gets boring. It gets boring making money by yourself. So it gets boring. I break out. I start playing the video game and shit. I get like the fuck. Like what I want to do. I want to have a trading floor. I want to have like 20, 30 motherfuckers in here. Everyone's like, yo, look at these levels. We're trading spy. See, I'm a spy trader. We're trading spy. None of that prop firm bullshit. Real money. I don't have nothing to sell. All right, I'm out of here. Um, Let me see. All right, so what's going on in the market? Tech is down. Yeah, tech is down. Energy is up. Energy and oil has been going off and up. Yes. I have a Robinhood situation right now. They were doing something real weird. I wanted to explain it. I think I'm just going to say that on that. My theory on Trump. I have a big theory on Trump. Crash after he leaves. Corrections in the short term. That's exactly that. My theory on Trump is that Trump isn't going to allow this market to fail under him. So trade it. Remember, there's all types of sentiments going on right now. There's all types of things going on right now. You have trader sentiment, market sentiment, and then you have all of that, including and going against Wall Street. Okay. Like that stuff matters. It matters. Trump isn't going to allow this market to, do a certain thing. He's keeping the market up and pump for certain people for his vested interest. And whether the economy is good or bad, it doesn't matter to him. So whenever you're like in like stock twits or you're in these different forums and everything, and you see everyone is saying this over bearish and they're bearish and just all this negative stuff, honestly, I trade against all that shit. When everyone, and then I've noticed in stock twits, like there's people just spreading misinformation, you know. So so you can actually say the wrong thing and you're going to get likes and you're going to get people um engaging in that. If you say anything that is that makes sense and like a logical thing, you're not going to get any engagement on that. So that's also another thing that I like to go inside of and do. So when you look up my account for like stock Twitch, you're going to see me say, "Oh, I'm extra bullish and extra da 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 da." When in reality, and then you see people like engage in it, but in reality, like I'm not bullish. Like I'm not. I'm just not. Um, now with saying that, what I said the last time, I trade against it. Yeah, I do. Like when I write bullish, yeah, like I'm playing bullish because I know that it's crazy. The game has changed. Okay, people like the stock market is different. It's not Wolf of Wall Street. The front end, it's Wolf of Wall Street on the back end. Okay, not the front end, the back end. Like the front end, as in what he was doing. This isn't what he was doing. All the way, he was, selling back securities to people, and getting a lot of money and shit, like, and giving them pennies, and like, he was on shit like that. This is definitely misinformation when it comes to the market. You see, I remember Trump back in October, November, whenever he would have the meetings and everything, and he would say the word tariff, then everything would start rocking and that. Dude, he was like, that was corruption. I say all that to say this: we know the market is corrupted. Don't fucking cry about it. Trade it. Grab your fucking balls. Trade it. We know Trump is corrupted. We know this is corrupted. We know what are you doing? Okay, this is a video game. This is like a video game. This world we live. This is all a fucking video game. Like this is a game. Okay, you're not going to argue about the rules of Monopoly when you're playing fucking Risk. They're two different games. So if you choose to play the stock market game shit, then just understand that you playing in that game. And there's a lot of these YouTube motherfuckers too that's putting out a lot of bad shit because they farming people for clicks and they farming them for views. They not putting no money in none of these motherfuckers' pockets and they just wasting your motherfucking time. Because as you're watching these markets go up and down and these big candles and everything, you could be making money yourself. All you need is like $50 and some fucking and some balls, and some gall. But I'm out of here. I honestly only wanted to stay on for like maybe a half an hour. This turns into an hour and a half. We probably have a little bit of a couple seconds of dead space, but I think I was talking and yapping this whole time. But I'm gonna probably do this every Sunday, moving forward, just so I can just so we can understand the market sentiment going forward. I'm going to get better with this, and I'm going to get better with the information I'm going to want to present because we're a day trade. This is a day trading channel, so we really want to look at the small stuff, along with the big stuff, but we want the small stuff. So once again, I'm Chuck. This is Chuck for Options. Please like, subscribe the video. Um, I might try and break it down into something smaller, but yo, I'm out of here, man. Thanks for watching. If you're watching, come check me out tomorrow, 9:15. I had an appointment on Monday, but that was postponed because of the snowstorm that we have coming to Philly and Jersey and New York and everything over here in the tri-state area. So I'm going to be live Monday, Tuesday, probably not, but I'm definitely going to be here for Wednesday for earnings, NVIDIA earnings. We have our trade plan. I'm going to keep this plan up. I'm going to try and put it somewhere. So if anyone want to see it, like even if I'm wrong, like the fuck, like it doesn't matter. Like like if you're in here throughout the day, then you would just know, it doesn't matter. Like so, definitely be here. If you want to make money, uh, but sheesh, I'm out. Deuces.